good evening to you and welcome. It's Thursday, 23rd May 2024. Peace is the path to the prosperity of a nation. Let peace reign. On the news this evening, lawyer reacts to court ruling on tenure extension of Rivers Council chairman. More speakers address audience as Rivers Economic Summit ends. National Assembly passes bill to revert to old national anthem. President Tinubu orders review of appointments into tertiary institutions' governing boards. On the foreign scene, final burial rites for Iran's late president begins. I am Constance Mega. A constitutional lawyer, Felix B. Ragbara, says the court decision declaring as invalid the amendments of the local government law does not legalize the Martin Amehule-led assembly. Dr. B. Ragbara, a lecturer in the Faculty of Law, University of Port Harcourt, said the purpose of the local government chairman who took the matter to court is to test the validity of the new law made by the Martin Amehule-led House and not about the legal status of the 27 lawmakers. Well, he spoke with our correspondent on this.
I think the purpose is to test whether the law made by the 27 members in accordance with the provisions. To an extent, if you see that the members are no longer members of the House Assembly by virtue of the declaration made by the acted as Speaker in December 2023. But the judicial determination of the validity of that decision is still being awaited. That has not been concluded. So to the extent that has not been concluded, so where the court gave that decision nullifying the law made by them, did not decide or determine their status. That's one. That's not the issue before the court.
Recall that a Rivers State High Court on Tuesday declared that the recent extension of the tenure of local government chairman is invalid. Justice D.G. Kyo declared that Local Government Law No. 2 of 2024, which sought to extend the chairman's terms by 6 months, conflicts with the 1999 Constitution and Section 9, Subsection 1 of the Rivers State Local Government Law No. 5 of 2018. But the court affirmed that the lawful tenure for local government chairmen and councillors remains 3 years as stipulated by the 2018 law. Moving on, a former governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Sanusi Lamido, has charged the Rivers State government to invest more in its people. Mr. Lamido said this during the second day of the Rivers State Economic and Investment Summit at the Obiwali International Conference Center. He said investment in the teaching capacities and other skills will help reduce youth restiveness.
Human capital and good governance are why countries that are complex in their characteristics, such as India, Brazil, China, and the US, have developed through innovation, intellectual property, education, and strong public institutions. If we're serious about development, we have to stop expecting oil to do everything for us. The key to economic development is human capital. Investing in the people is paramount. Rivers State needs robust education and skills training programs that essentially aim to prepare its youth to be the future workforce.
Our correspondent reports that the summit had a breakout session with various speakers addressing different issues. Former Governor of Cross River State, Donald Duke, is the chairman of the summit, and former Deputy Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Kingsley Moghalu, was one of the keynote speakers, while the former Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Sanusi Lamido, was the main speaker in today's event. Many dignitaries, including traditional rulers, members of the judiciary, former members of the National Assembly, the Speaker of the House of Assembly, attended the summit. Now, the two-day summit is part of activities to mark the first anniversary of Governor Siminalayi Fubara in office. The theme of the summit is Rivers Emerge, Advancing Pathways to Economic Growth and Sustainability. In other news, the chairman of the Independent Petroleum Marketers Association Nigeria IPMAN in Rivers State, Tekena Ipaki, said the fuel scarcity witnessed in the state will be over in the weeks ahead. Mr. Ipaki tells correspondent Subio Ruwari that the loading of the product has started in 2 of the major depots in Port Harcourt.
Trucks are loading out. I was at the depot. I went to the depot myself, and I've moved all necessary documents that would allow for the loading, clear every obstacles they had, and loading has commenced. The moment products are injected into the system to douse the pressure. It is delivered by NNPCL, yes. Right now, from NNPCL and Ipman is loading from one depot, from the Little Bulk depot, where I spent all my day yesterday.
The Rivers Ipman chairman also explains the reasons for the price increase of petrol in the state.
Marketers are not increasing price indiscriminately. Truck owners increase their transport fare. Everybody offering one service to the other in the course of process of moving the product from point A to point B, increase their fares. And when these kind of things happen, it definitely impact on the cost of the product. That is where you see variation in pricing. But whatever prices that people may have put that would be alarming, I assure you, measures are also put in place to go after them.
Recall that the management of the NNPCL recently said it has more than 1 billion litres of petrol to address the current scarcity witnessed across the country. Regional Deputy Secretary General of the Senior Staff Association of Electricity Allied Company, Innocent Lord Douglas, says Rivers residents should brace up for total blackout if, after 14 days, the federal government fails to reverse the electricity price hike. Mr. Lord Douglas said this in an interview with correspondent Sebi Oruwari, and he advised the Rivers State government to start addressing power challenges because the federal government has not shown seriousness in fixing the problems.
How will it will affect activity here is that we have one power sector. If the national leadership are taking up an action and giving an ultimatum, is going to affect everybody because the ultimatum will be cascaded down to the smallest chapter in the power sector in Nigeria. Because the minister has become more political than the public servant. A situation where the minister is being accused of running the power sector as a private company and with the sole aim of trying to liquidate the transmission company of Nigeria so that the political cronies over it over.
Recall that the National Union of Electricity Employees and the Senior Staff Association of Electricity and Allied Companies on Monday locked out the Minister of Power, Adebayo Adelabu, and issued a 14-day ultimatum to the federal government to reverse the electricity tariff hike or face industrial action. Now to security matters, the Rivers State Commissioner of Police, Olatunji Disu, has stressed the importance of the Police Community Relations Committee, PCRC, in intelligence gathering, information sharing, crime prevention and conflict resolution between the police and the public. CP Disu stated this in his keynote address at a one-day National Security Capacity Building Program organized by the PCRC in Port Harcourt. And he said the Inspector General of Police has urged commissioners of police across the state, across the country, to ensure cooperation with the PCRC in crime fighting.
The PCRC stands out as the foremost organization in enhancing police relationship with the public and in the face of familiar and newer threats as well. As the Commissioner of Police Rivers State, I'm honored to speak today about the strategic importance of the Police Community Relations Committee, PCRC, in Nigeria's evolving policing system. In recent years, we have seen significant changes and challenges emerge in law enforcement across the nation. As our communities become more diverse and complex, the need for strong police-community partnership has never been greater.
Also speaking, the national chairman of the PCRC, Ibrahim Olaniyo, urged members of the PCRC to work in synergy with the police to sustain the fight against crime in the state. Mr. Olaniyo also commended the Rivers State Commissioner of Police for his efforts in crime prevention in the state.
We are lucky to have a system that works, that led by a God-fearing leader. Yesterday, we were with the CP, and the CP sending every success back to the field. That is my men that are doing all this, that are achieving all this success. I commend all our DPOs, I commend all our area commanders, I commend all our police officers serving in this state. We appreciate what you are doing. To serve in Rivers State is not a tea party. It's like working in a war zone, even without any political tension.
Correspondent Emeko Tuka reports that earlier the chairman of PCRC in Rivers State, Voke Emori, said the program is to acquaint members of the PCRC with modern strategies of intelligence and information sharing to the police on activities of criminals.
We had to organize all our members to be a part of it because we are going to training people in our different divisions, different area commands about what we learned here today. And we thank the press for being here so that in the message can go far and wide that the PCRC is talking about how to collaborate with them to foster peace in our communities and ensure that also the police the communities better.
Still to come, President Bola Tinubu orders review of appointments into governing boards of tertiary institutions. Stay tuned.
By youths under the able leadership of Honorable Elder Give
Welcome back, and now to the rest of the news. The minority leader of the House of Representatives, Kingsley Chinda, says the old national anthem should not be a thing of priority to Nigerians. Mr. Chinda made the position known while debating on a bill to adopt the old national anthem sponsored by the majority leader, Julius Ihombere. Mr. Chinda, who is representing Obiakpo constituency in the House of Representatives, said the old national anthem was composed by colonialists and adopting it would mean going back. Well, despite opposition, the bill has passed second reading, and in the Senate, the bill also scaled through second reading. The bill was sponsored there by the leader of the Senate, Okpeyemi Bamdele, and has now been referred to the Senate Committee on Judiciary, Human Rights and Legal Matters, where the committee is expected to report back to the House in 2 weeks. Moving on now, President Bola Tinubu has ordered a comprehensive review of the recent appointments to the governing boards of tertiary institutions. In a statement by his media aide, Bayo Onanuga, the president said the review should be effected before the inauguration and retreats being planned for the nominees. Mr. Onanuga said the president has promised to ensure that the list complies with the principle of federal character. The president's decision may be due to the public reactions that the nominations did not reflect the federal character principle, as some states got just one nomination while others got many.
And now we bring you news from around the world.
Iran's late president Ibrahim Raisi is being buried in his home city of Mashhad 4 days after he was killed in a helicopter crash. The 63-year-old hardline cleric will be laid to rest in the holy shrine of Imam Reza, a revered figure in Shia Islam, where television pictures showed large crowds gathered in one of the northeastern city's main streets ahead of the ceremony. As you may know, 7 other people died in the crash on Sunday during the bad weather in Iran's mountainous northwest. On the news this evening, you heard that a constitutional lawyer, Felix B. Ragbara, has reacted to the court ruling on the tenure extension of the Rivers State Council chairman. And more speakers today addressed the audience as the Rivers State Economic Summit ends. President Tinubu has ordered a review of the appointments into the governing body of tertiary institutions. And the National Assembly has passed a bill to revert to the old national anthem. On the foreign scene, the final burial rites for Iran's late President Ibrahim Raisi has begun. The news was edited by Onyekachi Nwosu. To reach the news team, send an SMS or WhatsApp to 0808 721 7215. I am Constance Mega. Thank you so much for listening.